How's it going, everyone? You join me back again on a lovely English day. So for today's video, I thought I could cover 5 things I hate and 5 things that I love about my BMW M240i. Now, just to preface this video, I am using the word hate quite strongly. These things are somewhat annoying. It's not that serious, and on the whole, I absolutely love this car. Also, I'm trying a new angle for the POV. I've put the camera more along where my eyes are, so let me know if you guys enjoy this angle better than the other one. But anyway, let's get into it. So I'll start off with the things I hate. Now, the first thing on the list of things that I hate about my car is something that I previously mentioned in my first video, and that is the cruise control, or lack of. I spoke about the weird spec previously, about how it has more expensive options such as the sunroof ticked, but not more common options like the cruise control. And on a car that was over £40,000 new, you would expect that it would have such a basic feature. But unfortunately, as I've come to know, a lot of German cars don't come with much spec standard. As I've already said, it is something that I will be looking at getting retrofitted, as I do quite a lot of long journeys, so it would be quite helpful. But it does come with a speed limiter, which does act in a similar way, but obviously cruise control would be the ideal system. Now, next up on the list is the handling of this car. Now, coming from a Ford Fiesta, it's going to be quite hard for a lot of cars to match up to that sort of handling. I'm not sure of the exact specification, but I know that this car is significantly heavier than the Fiesta. And it feels that. With my Fiesta, I could basically chuck it into any corner I liked at legal speeds and it would just grip up and go. However, with this car, the body roll is definitely quite noticeable, which is unfortunate. However, the fix for that is pretty easy, and it's something that I forgot to mention in my previous video. Funnily enough, I test drove another M240i previous to buying this one, and it actually had the Bilstein B8 dampers modified onto it, and around longer bends, that car definitely sat a lot more flat and felt more stable. So yeah, that's definitely in the plans for the future, and something that I'm quite keen on getting done. Another handling modification that I'm looking at getting done is also lowering springs. Now, I was very keen to get that done as soon as I got the car. However, as a daily driver and having a splitter on the car as well, I would really like to keep that intact. As it is, I'm already scraping on quite a lot of speed bumps. So at the moment, I'm a bit uncertain as to whether or not I actually do want to lower it. But aesthetically, it's something I definitely want to do. It's just worrying about the usability day to day, as this is my daily car. Now, following on from that point, my third thing that I hate about my car is the lack of Apple CarPlay. Now, I'm sure you're all well aware that I'm using my phone for Waze, and that's because my car does not have Apple CarPlay capability. It does have the upgraded navigation, however, that did not come with Apple CarPlay activation. Now, to reference back to my Fiesta, that car had Apple CarPlay, it had Android Auto, it had all of that from factory. Plug your phone in, you're good to go. Obviously, it's very easily retrofittable. So, retrofittable, is that a word? What I'm trying to say is it's very easily retrofitted, so that's another thing that I'll look to make a video on and get done in the future. Similar to the cruise control, I've learned that a lot of those things just aren't standard in more premium brands. Right, now, carrying on the theme of practicality, the fourth thing that I hate about this car is the rear seat room. Now, compared to other cars such as the Audi TT, the rear seat room is really not that bad. However, in general, the actual usage of them is going to be quite limited to short journeys or for people who are particularly short. I don't tend to carry more than a couple of people in my car, so fitting people in the back is never going to be that much of a worry for me. But I know for some people who may have larger families and are looking at this car as a daily, it may not be the best pick for you if you're going to be traveling with lots of people in the back all the time. Now, the fifth and last thing I hate about this car is the overall look of the interior. Personally, I really like the look of this interior. I think it's functional, I think it looks good, it's not got too much going on or too little, I think it's just right. However, I think it does somewhat show the age of the car, considering some of the vehicles that are coming out with massive screens like the Mercedes, or certain cars that have really minimalistic designs. The interior sort of reflects its age, and to me it's not that big of a deal, but I know some people will care about that. But yeah, all of those things are completely outnumbered by all the things I love about this car, and I'll get onto them now. So the first thing I love about this car is the power. I'm also going to sort of mould the point into the mods available for the car, as that links in with the power, considering mine is mapped. Now the ease of mapping it, I did it all from my phone outside my house. I just love how big the community is for these cars, all powered by the B58. So the 140, 240, 340, 440, 540 and so on. And as I said in my previous video, the current power is sitting at around 400, 410 brake, and I'd definitely be looking at mapping it to stage 2 at some point soon. I think that would take it up near around the 450, 460 mark. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I think that would be amazing. Just not on days like this where there is zero traction. The second thing I love about this car is the sound. Since getting the double res delete, obviously the sound's improved a lot, and it is something that I am so happy that I've done. From factory, these cars sound okay, but honestly, that is one of the modifications that anyone who owns one of these has to do. It really unleashes the full potential that this engine has. This car should sound like that from stock. It's criminal that they've toned it down so much. But yeah, when I do eventually go stage 2 and get a sports cat or something along those lines, this car is going to sound insane. The third thing I love about this car is the fuel economy. So many people ask about the fuel economy on these cars because that's such a big thing people worry about when considering buying one of these. And I'm very pleased to say that this car can easily get over 40 miles per gallon on a long trip. As long as you're being careful, round town you can still get around or maybe slightly over 30 miles per gallon. At least that's what I get on my commutes. But yeah, on a longer trip you can easily get over 40 miles per gallon. In fact, I'll insert a picture now of proof that I got 46 miles per gallon on a long trip. And this was also when it was tuned, so a 400 plus brake horsepower car getting 46 miles per gallon. That is crazy. And it's just another reason why I love owning this car. I'm also thinking about making a video specifically on the fuel economy, sort of like a fuel economy challenge, hypermiling, road trip sort of thing. So let me know if you guys would want to see that too. Now the fourth thing I love about this car is the looks. I'm a big fan of the way the 2 Series looks. I think the standard coupe style looks really good, but with the subtle cosmetic mods that I've done to my car, I think it looks great. As I've mentioned before, one of the big reasons for choosing the 2 Series over the 1 Series was because this actually looks like a sports car. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the wider arches and more aggressive front grille like the M2 does, but I'm coming from a Fiesta, so I think the way it looks as is great. Now the last thing on my list of things that I love about this car is in fact the sunroof. I understand why it's such a rare option, especially here in the UK, considering the weather is like this for 95% of the year. However, I'm very grateful for the person who spec'd this car as that is 100% an option I would have picked, regardless of whether or not it's useful. It just makes the interior so much more light. I mean, you can see all my empty protein drinks so much better now. Jokes aside, it is 100% my favourite option that is on this car, and definitely a big reason to why I actually bought this one. So yeah, that just about wraps up today's video. There are so many more things I could have listed that I love about this car. The few things I've said that I hate are completely outweighed by the things that I love, and I am so happy with this car. Let me know if there are any other video ideas that you guys want me to do. Write me a comment, send me a message on Instagram. I'll pop it up on the screen again now. I've got loads of content planned, so make sure you guys stay tuned and subscribe if you're not already. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.